We tell ourselves that we are the walking dead.
As a franchise, The Walking Dead has had its ups and downs over the years, but it remains one of the most popular shows on TV because of Robert Kirkman's expansive world building and intense character development. Across 10 seasons of the Pioneer series, 2 sister shows, and a trilogy of upcoming movies on the way, not to mention the comic book, the thing people love most is the deep dive into character, the personalities of the characters, and how they've grown over the last decade of television.
Little girl, don't be afraid, okay?
First, let's talk about the most popular character of the series who actually isn't in the comic book. Daryl Dixon is known for being bold, honest, and adaptable. For those familiar with the 16 personalities, Dixon is known as a risk-taker. He's loyal, loves adventure, but is also not afraid to cross the line if someone crosses him or those he cares about.
That sumbitch is on the roof.
Next, there's Beth Green, Herschel's daughter, who was the closest potential love interest for Daryl early on until she was abducted by the Grady Memorial survivors. As a character, Beth is known as the artist. She's compassionate, observant, and tries to support those around her. She's artistic, imaginative, and an enjoyer of beauty. Beth was both enthusiastic in nature and sensitive to those around her. Beth's sister, Maggie, remains a fundamental character on the show well into the 10th season. Known as the Giver, this ENFJ personality is friendly, charming, popular, and empathetic. She's known for being a charismatic and idealistic leader with a focus on strong, intimate relationships. Maggie and Beth learned a great deal of their values from their father, Herschel. Known as the Counselor, Herschel was insightful, inspiring, creative, and altruistic. But this INFJ also had a quiet forcefulness in nature, especially when it came to those interfering with his privacy. Herschel was less of a leader than a source of inspiration to those around him.
They're not going to be around forever.
And the man who killed him, that was the Governor, known for self-confidence and a brilliant mind. The Governor is an INTJ personality type known as the Mastermind. A decisive and insightful leader, this villain was one of the first real threats to Rick and company. A natural strategist, the independent thinker created a way to take down Rick's prison walls. Then there's Lori Grimes, ESFJ. Around the same time as Rick fought the Governor, he lost his wife Lori. Known as a provider, Lori was an empathetic character known for her values and security and harmony. This warm-hearted character did everything she could to protect those around her, eventually sacrificing her own life to birth her daughter Judith. Then there's Merle Dixon, ENTP. The brother of Daryl Dixon, he's described as the devil's advocate. The ENTP is a fan of discussions and debates. Known for this quick wit and competitive nature, like cutting his own hand off to save his life, this energetic character is outspoken and direct, but also easily bored in dull situations.
That means I'm the boss, right? Yeah.
Complete opposite of Merle, there's Tyrese Williams, who's known as an idealist. The INF personality is effective, calm, and reserved. Unfortunately, these characteristics were not meant to help survivors amongst the undead. Like Dale early on, or even Carl Grimes later in the series, Tyrese was a moral compass on the show that couldn't survive the apocalyptic world. Then there's the popular and passionate Andrea, which is an ENFP nicknamed the Champion. She was popular, warm, and passionate. Known for emotions and enthusiasms, she tried to take responsibility into her own hands. But her high moral standards were a downfall in the end. The first foe for Rick Grimes was his best friend, Shane Walsh. The ENTJ, Shane's personality could be described as the commander. He's got an insanely high self-confidence, making him a highly charismatic leader. Shane was strategic and ambitious, but his ruthless nature caused Rick to put him down in the end. If Rick hadn't killed Shane, though, it would be hard to imagine anyone else bringing him down.
I'm looking for my family.
Oh, is that what you're doing? Looking for your family, huh? Well, one could argue it's my family you're looking for, right? How is my baby girl, by the way?
Technically, Negan is also an ENTJ personality, known for his command. Speaking of Negan, on the other side of the spectrum, there is the sensitive Glenn Rhee, known as the Protector. The ISFJ character is always there to lend a hand. He's patient, a hard worker, sensitive, and curious. He eventually marries Maggie, and Glenn's death was perhaps the most controversial on the show. Another sensitive character that changed the dynamic of the show itself was Carl Grimes. The ESTJ character is known as the Soldier, a strong-willed, take-charge character that literally grew up on the show. Carl will do anything to defend those around him. He even risks his life to help a friend, someone who needed hope on the series.
Since you're in the club now, you get to wear the hat.
And Carl was killed by the ESF personality known as the Performers. Known for being impulsive, this personality lives in the moment unlike anyone else. Sorry Performers, this one's kind of a cheap shot. And finally, let's talk about the three biggest characters on the show. Known as the Thinker, Carol is an incredibly competent and logical thinker known for being brutally honest with those around her. Driven by knowledge, Carol is known for making decisions without emotion, occasionally acting like a performer, but only to hide her true intentions. Then we meet the eventual leader of the show, Michonne, who's an ISTP, or operator. She's often quiet and reserved, but also spontaneous. She's a fearless risk-taker with a quick mind and level head, at least most of the time. She's faithful to those around her who share the same values, but cares little about social obligations and norm. And of course, she eventually falls for our hero, Rick Grimes. Known as the Enforcer, Rick Grimes is an ISTJ personality known for being stable and secure. Bright, logical, and extremely loyal, Rick is strong-willed and dutiful, especially if it means protecting his family, which is how the story begins. At the time of this video being made, Rick Grimes is currently missing, presumed dead by many, but we'll soon see him on the big screen as he takes his enforcing nature to the Commonwealth, most likely based on the comics, which will be the next villain in the world of the undead. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more 16 personality type videos, character analysis, and behind the scenes specials. And leave me a note in the comments about which personality you are and any suggestions for future shows or movies you'd like to see me discuss.